are back with the Masters in Creation podcast. I'm Toby King. We got a super special guest in the building, good friend of mine, Tori Yorgey in the building.
Yes.
Y'all may recognize her. And I always get these like stations like mixed up because
WTAE.
WTAE, that's a
Yeah.
fact. Okay, WTAE. She's a reporter for the Pittsburgh station out here. And yeah, I mean, if we could just kind of hop into it. We know each other obviously, from going to school at Penn State.
Right.
Shout out to College of Communications. So we were both in that school. What was it like? Did you just jump into news reporting immediately? Like, was that like your first instinct to chase, or like what was life like immediately after graduation? Like finding your feet.
It wasn't news for me ever. Like, I had a point in high school where I was like, all right, maybe I'll go for news. But then we went on this like trip to the one Philly station because that was the market I grew up in. And I was like, oh my gosh, you guys have to get up at like 4 a.m. There's no shot I'm doing that. So I was like, nope, news is not for me. But then in college, like, it was like the craziest thing, Tobe. Honestly, my advisor sophomore year, because I went to Penn State Abington first.
Yeah, right.
Like, so I had to like transfer from community college freshman year to Penn State Abington, and the advisor there was like, "You have to declare a major to transfer." And I'm like, I have no idea what I want to do.
That's a fact.
So she's like, well, what do you like to do? I'm like, I like to talk. I like people. She's like, okay, just do like communications, broadcast journalism, and change it later. And I ended up never changing it, but. Radio was where I really went.
That's a fact. Yeah, I remember at the student station. Yeah, that's a fact.
We did that internship at B94.5 at State College. So radio was like it for me, and I was like, this is it. This is what I love to do. And then, the summer before we graduated, I was like, man, I have not even tried news. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to apply for internships at the Philly news stations.
Okay.
And I ended up getting a bite with Fox 29 in Philly.
Yeah.
And it literally changed my whole life. It was the craziest thing. It was just like going out with the photographers, and I was aggressive, and I would always ask the manager, can I go with them? Can I go out on the stories? And he'd let me, and then it ended up just like literally helping me find this career. It was crazy.
That's dope. So like you just like kind of fell into it like through the internship, and just like, yo, I like what's going on here. Like,
yeah, exactly. It was like one of those things. I don't know. I don't know what popped into my head.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like an angel.
No, but like you just found a lead and like you just go. Just go. You smell blood.
Just try it and see. Like when you're like my whole thing about life is I don't ever want to like look back and be like the what ifs,
Yeah, the regrets,
so man, if I don't try everything, then I got my mom in my head.
Yeah.
Like, you need to try everything because you'll never know if you don't like it. Or you'll like it. So, yeah, thank God I went for that internship, and thank God they let me have it.
That's a fact. No, I mean, and
Worked
like,
out.
shout out to them because I mean, like the rest is like, kind of history with that.
Yeah.
But like, so in that, like, so like when you got that initial internship and like you're just like, kind of again getting your feet wet and just like figuring out your environment, like what helped you get comfortable, if anything, or was it just like a smooth, like you just like immediately found it, we're just like, okay, yeah, like let's go, like it's like
yeah, right. No, the one photographer, it's so funny because I used to go out with a lot of the photographers, not really the reporters, and they would be the ones to like coach me through stuff. And there was this one photographer, his name was Daniel, and he's like the best guy ever, but he's super quiet.
Okay.
And you know me, I'm not. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like he doesn't want to really like, do too much talking and try and get interviews, and that forces me to really do it. So when I would go on scenes and stuff with him, I'd end up like figuring out that I really like talking to people and gathering information. And but it wasn't smooth on camera.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't. They helped me a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like, what was that process like? Like, was it just like, so did you start off by taking pictures and like helping Daniel, or like what?
Yeah, no, I didn't do anything with the camera. I was more like just there, kind of like observing what he would do, and then I would kind of just wing it. Like I was like, okay, I know that we need interviews, so let me do. And I would do while I was doing the interviews, the photographers would be like, they would ask questions too if I missed something. So that would kind of red flag me, or just, flag to me, okay, I need to make sure I'm covering this, this, and this when I'm asking questions. So they really helped me with like the interview process. And then, on camera, I was so bad. Like I look back, dude, and it's like actually like horrifying just looking back.
I hear you.
Yeah, no, I'm so grateful that I've come this way. Well, with news, like I was trying to do the like nasal and like.
And I was
oh
even.
my God,
Do
I'm
they
live.
teach you to talk like that's like,
No.
hi, this is 26 News.
Yes, yeah.
Is that like a cadence that like they like all teach you? Like I wanted to know that like.
they teach you to be like conversational
Okay.
and like normal. You
Yeah.
know, like sound like a normal human being. But I think some people get caught up in articulating so much that news anchors and reporters, when they do that their news voice or whatnot, they do definitely sound clearer, and you have to ensure that your audience can understand you. My issue was my accent. Like and actually my first job really helped me get through that loophole, but or not loophole, but
Yeah.
that loop. And
What was it about your accent? Was it just like too much of like a Philly accent to it?
Too much.
Yo, so
too
this
much.
John right here, it's hot. It's a hot John today for yeah.
I was like classroom. Oh, the bad. Yeah, like all my A's were
Yeah.
like. And I remember like my first job. My boss called me into the room, and he's in his office, and he's like, Just say this word for me, and it was CLASS. No, he was, dude. This is a real story. He said, held up this piece of paper. He said, say this word for me, and I said, class. He's like, that's not how you say it. I was like, oh my God, it's not. How do I know? This is how I grew up. I'm like, no shot. That is how you say it. It's class. And then he's like, your accent is way thicker than I thought. And then at that moment, I'm like, he's gonna fire me. It's gonna be it. No, but then he told me, he said, go home and read the newspaper, and like you have to look up on YouTube how to say stuff. So now what I do, even still to this day with some words, I will go to Siri. And or like go on Google, and you can click the little like microphone.
Pronunciation.
Yeah,
right.
And she'll say it for me.
Yeah.
That's how I'll do it.
Get the fuck
I'll
out
just
of
do
here.
it. Now I know it's class and it's bad. And it's funny because on camera I can like filter it out.
I was about to say like how how.
I don't know. And
Yeah.
I'm so worried that one day it's gonna bite me in the butt. Like I'm gonna like go on camera and just when I did have that incident, you could kind of hear it come out, because when I'm on camera, I'm just, I'm filtering everything that's coming out of my mouth. So I think like in my mind, I'm saying, this is how you pronounce this word. Just make sure you do. But when I first started, what I would do is put like little asterisks next to like the words that I knew I'd have trouble saying, to red flag, like just, put something up in my brain, like, yo, just say this like this, like to know that that's a word I had trouble with.
Facts.
So I think it's just practice.
That's so fun. Like he said, yo, please say this. Like that's when like they try to like curb the accent out of you. So they even try to like dial. Okay, wow.
Yeah, and then it was just one of those things with like the on camera too. I think I was so caught up in trying to sound like a news reporter in the beginning.
Yeah.
I smiled too much, they said.
Too much?
Yeah, like,
Okay.
you can't be like, I'm at a house fire. You can't do that, I'm like, oh my God, I said it. I looked back, man, and I'm like, oh my God.
No survivors, unfortunately. Yeah.
How horrible.
That's crazy,
I
yeah.
said to myself, like, oh my God, I do. I look back and I'm just like
Hilarious, man.
mortified. But
That's
now I know,
hilarious.
that obviously it's just nice to know in this business, they do like when you're conversational, when you're a human being.
Yeah.
And I was despite what some people may think.
that's even like kind of news to me a little bit. Not news, but it's just kind of interesting to hear that, because obviously in like, the whole entertainment media, whatever, it's like a very harsh truth type of environment.
Yes.
So like when you're hearing that, hey, like, your accent isn't, how did you like, was there like a sense of discouragement in you? Was it just like, damn, like they just don't like me for me? Like, how did you kind of balance those feelings?
I actually was really upset by it, because it's like, that's home,
Right.
and I'm away from it right now. Like I was in West Virginia, and that was 7.5 hours away. And, like I was away, and I didn't want to lose me. And I'm thinking, that's part of who I am, the way I talk.
Right.
But then it dawned on me, and I said to myself, my boss at the time, Dan, who is great, and I just really am so appreciative of everything he did for me. But he told me I need to lose it like entirely, or at least that's how I took it. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to lose it when I'm on camera. So
Okay.
that's how I kind of just got through that and made
Okay,
myself
just-
feel better about it because, yeah, it was like a little, man, you
Like,
guys
yeah,
don't
like, yeah, like,
me.
what do you mean? Like,
yeah,
yeah.
like, this is who I
It's
am.
the way I talk,
But
right?
it's funny because my boss after him, like, loved my accent. And she
Okay.
was, like, okay with it. And
See
I'm
how
like,
that goes?
this
So
is
it's like, did I
different.
even need to? Well, like, would you say that like you felt that like learning that skill was good, but
Yes.
then going into another environment, then being like,
Yeah.
hey, listen, we like you for say whatever words you want to say, however you want to say them, like,
Yeah.
you know. So like,
Exactly.
there's that balance there. So all right, so from the internship at Fox,
Yeah.
then you go over to West Virginia.
To West Virginia, yeah.
So like you said, one gig you were at home, the next you weren't. How did you, come across the West Virginia opportunity? And then again, just what was the mental, like, what was life looking for at the time? Like, were you kind of hesitant because you're like, I'm still kind of getting my feet wet in this? Or like, what, did you just, jump at the opportunity and we're just like full speed ahead? Like,
Well, yeah, it was kind of crazy because so I had just like I was it was the internship I did. Like I don't know if you graduated in the winter time too. I think you were spring.
Summer,
You
spring.
were summer.
Yeah,
okay.
May.
So
That's when,
okay,
yeah,
so I
graduated May.
was winter. So my internship was literally like that summer, and then I graduated like 4 or 5 months later.
Facts, okay.
So it was like right there. So I just kind of put together a reel, like you know how reporters have reels. I just went to like community events in my hometown.
Really?
Just like rented a camera from oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Innovation Park.
Oh, facts. Oh no, yeah, I went to my
Communications at
camera
Penn
when
State.
yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
you can rent equipment. I rented a camera and just like went and did what I could and like a microphone and just prayed to God that like it was enough.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a couple bites. The West Virginia one particularly though was through Bob Martin, the dean.
Facts. Okay,
At,
right.
Yeah, or I'm sorry, yeah, Bob Martin at
College of Communications,
my
right.
bad, Belisario. But anyways, he got me in touch with this recruiter. And this recruiter like called me and he asked what I liked. And at that internship, I did cover a fire.
Okay.
And that was the like kind of like the click in my head. This is it.
Yeah.
I liked the adrenaline. I liked the
dope.
fact of like trying to get to like alert people that everyone's okay. It's all good. Everything's fine. And I told him I like hard news because that's your hard news. Your fires, your shootings, unfortunate stuff is
right.
hard news. And I told this recruiter that, and this recruiter like calls around, and then Dan Fabrizio from WSAZ in West Virginia, in Charleston, it's the capital there.
Okay.
He calls me up and he's like, I like you because you like hard news. I was like, seriously? That's all I needed to say? Because it's a fact. I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
And so I think he just took a chance on me. That I
That's
really
dope.
do, because I look back and that reel was not that good. But I had an offer in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Okay.
I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the beach, but it was really far from home.
Yeah.
And then I had an offer at State College in
Okay.
Johnstown. And I said, oh my gosh, this is great. Like I can stay in Penn State and then I can like be close to home. It's only
Right.
a few hours. But then it dawned on me, I'm like, dude, you know what? At the end of the day, I think if I just go far now, I'll just
Life's
make
about
my
new
way back
experiences,
home.
yeah.
I'll make my way back home.
'Cause
It'll
home will always be
uncomfortable.
there.
Exactly. And like it will be uncomfortable. It will be really scary. I'm going to know absolutely no one, which I did. I knew no one in West Virginia
Yeah.
at all. And I was like, I'm just going to go for it because I'm really scared. And you know that quote, it's like if you're scared of something, just go
Probably-
for it.
yeah, right.
I did it and I'm so grateful I did. And I spent 3 years down there. And yeah, that boss definitely took a chance on me. But yeah, there were a couple offers and I could have been closer to home, but I decided that I wanted to just, like, I don't know, in my head it was like, well, what if I have to go further down the road? Just get it out of the way now.
Right.
And make my way back home. And thank
Yeah.
God it's working out for me because Pittsburgh is obviously closer to
Hell yeah, right.
Philadelphia, greater area, greater Philadelphia area
Sure.
where my family is. So yeah, it all worked out. Thank God.
Awesome. No, I mean, like, I'm glad
Yeah.
it's been like, just like dope to even see your journey.
Oh,
So
thank
like,
you.
what would you say was so like, once you're kind of, becoming a full-fledged reporter, right? Like
Yeah.
you're in front of the camera, you're doing, some of these hard stories,
Mm-hmm.
you're, just like reporting like hard stuff. What was the biggest misconception that you felt was like, I don't know, just like, dissipated as far as like when you were reporting? Like, was there something like you maybe thought would be easier, harder than it was? Like, with like certain aspects that you just didn't really, see?
Yeah.
forecast when like
Yes.
you were
Yeah.
pursuing that?
I know what you mean. When I started, I was really bad. I
Yeah.
really was.
As we all are
I
and
know.
shit. Yeah, yeah.
I like look, but I really was. Like my boss, my first boss, yeah, like I guess for me to answer your question, I always thought, it's gonna be so easy to just go out and like grab the interviews and just like kind of put together something real quick. But
Yeah.
then it didn't dawn on me like creative writing. They don't like really teach you that in college, I don't think, or maybe they just didn't back in our time. But creative writing is such a like vital thing.
It's great.
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
And like I respect people who have that
Just
natural.
like those used to be my favorite assignments in like
Yes.
high school. Just like your creative run, just like make up a story.
That's yeah, and that's like for me. And now that I've got some experience, it's not that hard anymore.
Yeah,
but
right,
at the
right.
beginning, I admired it, but I never knew how to really do it.
Yeah.
So like that was the hardest part for me, trying to figure out how the heck
What
to make this, because you have
did
to
you
grab
have to
the
write creative?
attention.
Okay, yeah,
You
okay.
have to grab the viewer's attention right
Huh.
away. Because why should someone care about the shooting that's miles and miles and counties away? Why would you care? I have to make you realize, or kind of.
So
give
how
you
do you think
why
you would
care.
like how would you do that? Like what were some of the
Like we had this talent coach, and he would always tell me, well, if it's a shooting in a random neighborhood where it never happens, like it could travel. If the suspect got away, where's he from? Where's he coming from? Is he going back to it, to that area? So you have to like address all these facts in the story, and just let people because I remember like when I first started, like I'd do a story in like a county or whatever in West
Right.
Virginia, like Logan County in West Virginia. I'd do a story there. Well, someone in, Mason County might not care.
Right.
Well, so I would try and address it like, is it an issue that's affecting possibly more than one county or like more than the whole state maybe? And then I try and just kind of, grab the attention like, there was a lot of politics down there because we were at the Capitol.
Yeah.
So I'd try and just, basically, if I was in Logan County, but it was a story that affected more people, I'd try and just grab the viewer's attention, with the first sentence saying like, healthcare for everyone, like something like that along those lines.
I hear
To
you,
try
I hear
and-
you.
But it's hard. It's still hard for me. I always say writing can always be improved.
For sure.
You can always improve in anything in your life, but my writing is definitely where I'm like, I need to definitely, go hard with that. Even to this day, I email my anchor, Mike Clark, with WTAE in Pittsburgh, and I'm like, can you please just look at this script and just like tell me what you think, and he'll like give me some tips,
pointers
and stuff.
and edits and
And thank God for people like him, and honestly, this whole my whole news family here in Pittsburgh, because they're so experienced, they're
That's
so
dope.
good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the hardest part, I think, is the creative writing.
Okay. The create interesting. And like even like we can just get a little deeper, but like just your thoughts on like so. And I feel like it's a fine line of like being genuine to the story and then just trying to sensationalize like bad news. So like where do you how do you find that balance of trying to get genuine news out there, trying to be genuinely informative, but then not trying to sensationalize certain stories rather than, others. Like,
Yeah, I think when I first started, I did the sensationalizing a little bit.
Okay.
But now, especially with everything going on in the world, I do definitely try, like, COVID.
Yeah.
Like, we were all so scared of it in the beginning.
Facts.
And, some people to their may still be scared of it now, which is understandable. It's, killing people still.
Yeah.
But I did a story recently with a doctor, and he was telling me, like, not everyone needs a second booster.
Right.
And, some people might think, from the news outlets and the national, get the booster or whatever. Well, my thing is I'm going to try and just educate people and let them make their own choice.
Yep.
So here's my education to you. This doctor, I'm just the messenger, is telling me 50 and older, you may want to consider a second booster. That's just an example. I can't actually remember the exact number he said for age, but for people like you and I, we might not need it unless we're immunocompromised. So
Makes sense.
stuff like that, I try and not exaggerate it.
Right.
I try to not instill fear in people if
Yeah.
it's not necessary. And that's really my bosses, they're big on that too. You know, they want to just put the facts out there. Like, we don't want to, and let you decide.
Yeah.
It's your life. I'm just here to try and inform you a
So
little
pretty
bit.
much just the way news should be.
Yeah. And I think,
Right,
I
yeah.
think honestly, local news here, even all the stations, I think we do a really good job at that.
I agree. No, for sure. I
definitely
agree.
think
I
if,
agree.
You know, sometimes, you know, things get a little misconcepted, like at the national
Yeah,
level.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like once you get to like the CNNs, the Foxes, like, you know, all this stuff, like even if it's depending on like what side of the spectrum, like, you know, they're reporting the issues on, is always just going to be a degree of like, we are, like, a lot of people are watching us, so we have to just like throw buzzwords out there,
Yeah.
like certain words that just get a reaction,
Yeah.
just so you tune in. And then like once you're listening, it's like, okay, maybe I don't need to be so worked up about this, but again, just to get the eyes immediately, they just kind of throw out those big words, you know, trying to cause that fear up.
I get that, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think too, national is like a whole new ballgame.
Yeah,
It's
for
like
sure.
you're like, you have to address everyone in the country. And
No, yeah, but
I
I
can't
do
even
agree at the
imagine
local-
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
nuts,
the local,
yeah.
I definitely try and not do that. And when I did start first reporting, I did try and, you know, I think like my first few months, I was like, how do I make this like, you know, so aggressive?
Yeah,
and I'm
right.
like, I gotta chill.
It doesn't need-
Even
it
there's
doesn't need-
sometimes like even I just covered Dr. Oz's watch party the
Oh,
other night.
dope,
right?
okay.
And like nothing's going on. Like, you know, everybody's just kind of watching the screen. And I could go on camera and I could say, yeah, you know, like there's a lot of people here. They're really excited. But in reality, I just went on camera and I said, you know, there's been like silence at some points. Maybe they're anxious watching the screen because it's such a close race.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
I didn't want to put words into their mouth, but I was saying to my anchors, I was like, it's a little tense because
Yeah.
it was. I was like, you know, I definitely feel the tension, and you know, they're really not taking their eyes off that screen. And I
Yeah.
just tell what I see. You know, I remember there was a reporter doing a driving shot, and there was like, we were supposed to show the roadways because it was a storm. And she's like, there's really nothing happening. And she's like, and it's so dark. I said, just tell people, look how dark it is.
Yeah.
Look how dark it is. Like, if you go out, you're like you better have good headlights. you
Yeah,
know? Like,
right, yeah.
I don't know. I try and just literally sit, you know, tell
Right.
them what I see and what I know.
No,
you
I
know?
definitely hear that, and no, that's great. And like again, kudos to you for even like having the balance in the moment to even like, you know, like I feel like that's the hardest.
Yeah.
Because even with this, right, we're recording. It's not live.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I say something like just like that's not supposed to be in there. It's like, okay, we can just cut it in post.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can, you know, do that in post. Live television,
Yes.
live is a different beast.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
is.
and like
It is.
I'm not sure I could do that. Like, if I was me, I'm like, yo, why y'all so quiet?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm on TV. Yeah.
Right?
Like,
Oh my gosh, you're so funny.
No,
Yeah.
for real. That's great though. So I mean, you know, just like kind of like scaling it back again, right?
Yeah.
How did so like even like before you got your first official news reporting gig, how did you mentally prepare for like the responsibility of reporting the news? And then it's kind of a two-part question, right? And then what does it mean to you? What does reporting the news mean to you? And then how did you prepare for the responsibility of reporting the news?
Responsibility. Kurt Chandler. He was a professor at Penn State. He just recently passed away.
Oh, my.
He was such a good guy, but he instilled like, you know, credibility into us in college, and that's something I always remembered. And I was always like, you know, you know, the fake news stuff has been
Right.
going around for a couple of years now.
Right.
So I wanted to prove people wrong on that. You know, I wanted to prove like, you know, so with responsibility, I think my biggest thing was always like just trying to check my facts, and that's how I got responsible. Like, because to me, you know, I need to ensure that I'm reporting accurately, and so sometimes I would hear stuff and I'd be like, oh, let me go ask my boss. Should I just go say that? You know, like, I heard it. I mean, but you know, she would remind me like, you gotta, you know, triple check it with the source and stuff like that, the accurate source. So I don't know. I guess I just had to tell myself I can do this, and as long as I am accurate, I don't curse,
Yeah.
I don't, you know, do anything stupid, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
And honestly, it relieved me so much. Like, because when I was on camera, I was always so nervous. I would stutter. Oh my God! The one time I remember stuttering so much that I was like, I'm just gonna send it back to you right now. I literally said that, and like,
Yeah.
and my one anchor at that time was like, just don't watch it. He's like, just don't watch that back. He's like,
Yeah.
it's okay. Just keep it moving.
Yeah,
And
oh,
then I
man.
told myself, I'm like, Tor, just calm down. Like, you're good. Just be accurate.
Mm-hmm.
You have your phone with your notes. Touch on it if you look down if you need to. It's okay to look down at your
Yeah.
phone and see because you want to be accurate.
Right.
So that I guess that's kind of like how responsibility came into it. And then reporting to me is like the best job in the entire world. And I think it's because I love informing people so that they know what's up and they can make their own decision. I don't want to tell you what to do. I just want to tell you the facts. And I look at myself like a messenger. Like, you know, I talk to these doctors, these lawyers, these lawmakers, and I don't even have a half a clue sometimes what they're saying. So when I'm interviewing them, I will literally say, hey, talk to me like I'm in third grade. Seriously, it won't offend me.
Right.
I want, because I'd say I have the average mind. I think, you know, average. I think most people have the type of mind I do and comprehend stuff when you're not like, you know, educated on that topic.
For sure.
So for me, it's like, let me simplify this. Let me break this hard topic down and simplify it for people to understand so that they know what decision to make when it comes to their lives. And that's the part I love about reporting. I love just giving people, like, I love being a little part of a, you know, their story. Like if it's something impacting the community, I love getting that out there and letting people know what's going on. I just think it's important to be, you know, well-rounded with what's happening in your neighborhood and like your area. It's just important.
That's the, so like on like the one where like you were studying, like, you know, like studying, like it just wasn't a good take. Like, did you feel that walking away? Did you just like what was like, and then what was the process? Because like you said, like, you know, like you kind of calmed yourself down. Me, I know if that was me, I'd be like, yo, look, guys, it's been a nice run.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like this is for me. Yeah, like you feel me? 'Cause, like I just said up to say that like it can be like moments like that, especially again.
Yeah.
With the nature of your job, like moments like that could just kind of be discouraging,
Very
you know, like
discouraging.
at some levels.
Yeah.
And I feel like your mentor, or like, you know, like your boss in that moment did exactly what he was supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you just like, listen, bad game, whatever. Like let's just move forward.
Mm-hmm.
What was what was like the actual process like for you improving the next time? Like did you just like kind of like, again, just deep breaths, let me just kind of calm down and go through this?
Yeah, I did. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna quit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it going.
That's not.
And let me tell you, man.
College and Comm ain't quitters. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a whole fact.
It's true. And let me tell you, that was in the early stages, and I still knew no one. I was like working weekends. It was hard to make any friends. I mean, I definitely could have just quit because it would have been easier to just come back home at that point and find a PR job. I mean, it really would have. But I said to myself, I'm like, Tor, just, you know, you like doing this. Just calm down, take a deep breath. And when I went on camera the next time, I remember saying to myself, you're going to be on camera for a minute. And then you're going to read what you got. And then you're going to go home tonight. And you're going to go to sleep, and you're going to wake up and start your whole day again. Yeah. It's going to be okay. Like, you know, I think sometimes I'm an overthinker, so I get in my head, and I'm like...
Hi, Tori. Nice
to
meet you.
Right, yeah.
How you doing? Right? What's going on?
I feel like most people,
are.
But I overthought that, and I'm like, man, dude, like, because, like you said, it discouraged me. I was like, this ain't it. Yeah. This ain't it. There's no shot that I should be doing perfect. And then that's when it dawned. I'm like, you know, not every good story... this is my whole thing about life too. Mm-hmm. I always tell people, if you have a perfect run, it's not going to be a fun story to tell.
It's not.
So I always like to, you know, look back at my mistakes, which I'm still making, and I like to just learn from them. Even just this week on election night, I said, man, I could have done a lot better with some of that stuff. And then I said, you know what? November, that election night, I'm making that's going to be me. I'm going to do good. And I hype myself up, and that's what I did with that live shot the next time around, and I did fine. And I think I reminded myself, like the phone or a notepad, just look down at it. Like, it's cool if you know, because when they toss to you on camera and they're in your ear, and they're like, all right, now we're going to go to, like, Pittsburgh's Action News for Tori Yorgey. I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, well, hi, Mike and, you know, Janelle. Or, like, you know, I try and just, you know, go with it. And just remember, like, I studied this story for hours today. Right. I know what I'm talking about. Right. I just have to chill. Right. It really is just that. Like, you literally study the story for, like, 6 hours.
I'm not even sure if you've heard of, like, this term, like, you know, like, maybe you have imposter syndrome. It's like...
No.
It's like it's like the phenomenon, right? Like, let's just say like you're doing something really successfully at like a high level, right? And it's like a part of you will look back and be like, is that like, did I do? That's not me.
Yeah.
Like, am I capable of that? Like, you don't feel as if you've accomplished these things back to back and even up to this point.
Okay.
But it's just like, no, that was you.
That makes
Like,
so much
you,
sense.
You
for
did
my
that.
life.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that was you. There was no, you know, I mean, obviously you had help at other points. Everyone needs help at points. You know what I mean? But that was you. Like you did that.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, that actually describes my
Yeah,
life
for
to
real.
a T, especially when I got the Pittsburgh job. because
Word.
I was like, market 26. I'm coming from market like 75. It's my second
Oh,
job.
so Market 26. Like,
Yeah.
what's that like? So like,
Oh,
so
I know.
it's
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
Oh, no,
like
you're
it's
good. Like,
news markets are ranked. So like
Okay.
Pittsburgh, all of the stations in Pittsburgh
Okay.
are market 26.
Gotcha.
Your market is based on how many households you reach.
ah,
New York is number 1.
Makes
The
sense.
most households.
Yeah,
Los
right.
Angeles number 2.
Makes sense.
So like, you're millions at that
Interesting.
point.
Okay,
the
okay,
local
okay.
news. But yeah, and so for Charleston, it's like 210 markets, I think, total
Okay.
in the country, I
Copy.
think. So for market, I started at market 70,
Right.
like in the 70s. And I was like, this is crazy. Why do they want me? Like this is such a high mark. It's usually a second jump for
Okay.
reporters, and Pittsburgh would be like a third or fourth jump, I feel like, and I made it in 2. I only had one job in TV before this, so I was like, well, why do they want me? Like, I don't know.
I feel you.
But
Not imposter syndrome. They
Yeah,
want you because
no.
you're you. For
Well,
real. Like, yeah.
and that's what I said. I'm like, they wouldn't hire me if they didn't think I could do the job.
There you go.
And everything just fell into place, but my confidence is like absolutely gone
Hell
up.
yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, and as it should, because you should always be confident in what you're doing.
Right.
And I know at the end of the day, I'm a good reporter. Like,
Facts.
I
Talk
do what
that.
I need
Yeah,
to
talk
do.
heavy.
Yeah, no, I need to do what I need to do, and I do it. And I mean, like I said, as long as I don't curse and I accurately report,
Smooth sailing.
we're good.
Right, yeah, no, smooth
Not
sailing.
that I would,
I
but-
mean, just even branching off about going to tangent. Explain to me the delay. It's like, all right, Tori, we're going to throw it to you.
Right. Oh my gosh. I know.
Thanks, Mark. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I know. That's
What is up with that? Like,
technology.
what
It's
is
just
that?
technology. On my old station, we didn't have someone like in our ear to tell us, okay, Tori, go.
Yeah, right.
In Pittsburgh, we do.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have too terrible of that.
Got
like
you.
the anchors will still be talking in my ear, but my director will be in my ear too, and he'll say, "Tori, just go."
Okay,
and
got
I'm like,
you.
okay, and I'm so it's kind of hard. 'Cause You have
okay.
to like talk over them in your ear. It's like
Because I thought like they did that on purpose, just to kind of like let the anchors. So it's always
just a genuine
that is
delay.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's
technology,
really funny. Honestly. So all right, what was just like a thing that you wanted to bring to your job here in Pittsburgh that you may have not had the chance to, or like maybe fully flesh out or execute back in West Virginia, if anything? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I
Like,
don't know if there's anything in particular, but one thing I wanted to stay really good about here is like staying on top of stories. You
Okay.
need to stay on top of your stories, and sometimes I'd get flustered back there, but now I have a good system.
Mm-hmm.
I really utilize my journal, my calendar, my word calendar.
Yep.
So that's what I've been kind of just trying to do, stay on top of my stories. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to come to Pittsburgh. I've always wanted Pittsburgh or Baltimore for my next stop.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah, I've
yeah,
always
okay.
wanted one of the two, and I got an offer in Baltimore.
oh yeah.
Mhm,
Dope.
and in Cleveland too. I got actually a couple in Harrisburg area also, but I was really focused on Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. But because Baltimore is only 2 hours from Philly. It's
Facts.
a higher market as well. I've always liked Baltimore, but I've never got to experience Pittsburgh, and I always heard good things. We went to school with people in
Facts.
Pittsburgh, so I always wanted. I was like, that's a good market. It's closer to home. I should try for that one.
Yeah.
I ended up doing it, and it worked out. So, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to come here, and I wanted to get to know this Steel City, really. So I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question, Tob. I'll have to think about that.
Word. How you liking up Pittsburgh so
I
far,
love
though?
it.
Yeah,
I love it here.
Yeah.
Everyone is so nice. Like I've like seriously never felt like so welcomed. Like they just welcomed me so fast.
Yeah.
It was like almost
I
like
agree.
weird. Like
I
it's like,
agree.
oh my god, you guys are so
Literally,
nice.
nah, like,
I'm
I'm
not
even-
from here.
For real though, like no, like that's how it is. Cause like even
Yeah.
like when I first moved out here, like it just kind of fit like a glove. Like
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even really feel like I'm away from anything.
That's what I said. It's like,
Like-
I say that to people. It's like I feel like I'm home.
Yeah.
in a weird
I don't
way.
know. Like, I don't know. Is that the
Like,
charm of the city?
I know. I'm like, my mom and dad aren't here, but I really do feel like I'm home.
Literally,
I don't
like,
know. It's so odd, but
I don't know, man.
I like it, man. I like the culture here. I like their passion about their sports.
That's
like,
a fact.
I just like it.
That's
like,
a
I
fact.
just like the people.
Yeah, there's like there's like a layer of like humor to Pittsburgh people too.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
like a different same with Philly people. Y'all be like, it's like another layer
Yeah,
of humor.
I know.
You know what I mean? But like Pittsburgh is unique because obviously like it's like not Philly. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
just like another part of Pittsburgh.
Yes,
like
yes.
it's just
I definitely
this
like
is-
my PA.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
PA. I always joke, like, I grew up in Eastern PA. I went
Yeah.
to school in Central PA. Now I'm working in Western PA.
I
got the whole feel.
I even made the joke that like Pitts Maryland raised me for sure, but Pittsburgh adopted me like,
Oh,
for sure.
yeah, that's
definitely
sweet. That's
adopted me
cool.
like
That's
just
cool. Yeah.
open arms. But all right, we got to talk about it.
Yeah,
man.
of
So you
course.
had probably one of the most viral moments of the year so far, like
Yeah.
to date. You know what I mean? So I mean, you got hit by. I mean, like for those who don't know, like I'm not sure if you, I'm not sure how you wouldn't know, but
Yeah.
Tori here was reporting the news live one day, and this was shortly before she left her job at West Virginia to
Mm-hmm.
obviously come here to Pittsburgh. But while she was reporting, she got hit by a car on live television and
Live.
kept reporting. So
Yeah, I did.
I mean, do you just chalk that up to you just being a consummate professional, or are West Virginia drivers just that bad?
I credit that.
What do you chalk that up to? Honestly, man,
Oh
like
my
that
God,
was so
Toby.
crazy.
Oh, I just adore you. Oh my God. I credit it to, okay, my reaction, I credit that to adrenaline. For
Yeah,
real, for
yeah,
real. Like,
facts,
I
facts.
was in like shock. Like, I'm like, well, it's crazy is, I'll just throw this out there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
lived in that apartment complex for an entire year.
Okay.
So I'm very familiar. Okay. You come down a hill and you're going on Roxalana Hills Drive there or whatever. You can make a left or a right. Well, this woman was making a left. So like hypothetically, I'm all the way to the left, like my camera's on the grass, I'm on the curb, and she's making a left so she wouldn't come all the way to my side, because if a car was turning in, it would collide with her.
Yeah, right.
So I feel like maybe she was trying to avoid the lights, or maybe got a little distracted by
Yeah.
them. I really don't know. I know she felt awful, so
Man,
that made me feel
like
even
that was
worse.
probably
It's
crazy.
like, like when people feel bad for you and you're like, it's not that deep. Just
Yeah,
come
right.
on,
Yeah,
Don't
it's like
feel
it's
bad.
like,
Then you make
I'm
me
on the
feel
job,
bad.
baby. Like I'm cool. Like yeah.
Yeah, so no,
Right.
but I just don't even. I still to this day don't know how that happened. And
Right.
honestly, if I had to go back, like I would have still set up in that spot.
Wow,
Because like not to get hit again. I mean, but because it wasn't ideal. It did hurt.
Yeah,
but
facts.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
but I mean, it like I don't know. I just it was a good spot to me. And my news car was like 10 feet in front of me. Like I was visible. I don't know. It was just a freak accident, I'd
Yeah.
say. But yeah, man, I blanked. Like I just blacked out after it. But
Yeah.
I will say, as she was hitting me, like literally, I saw the the side of the car from like this side of my face. I'm like, she's running me over. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like literally dying. I'm like going under the wheel, dude. There's no
Yeah,
shot.
it's like,
and it's
oh,
happening.
I'm getting run over right now,
Yeah,
right.
I'm like, it's happening right here, right now,
Oh,
on TV.
man.
Oh my God. And I didn't know at that point because it was such a delay. You
Yeah.
could tell it was such a delay.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, are they even still on me? But I just like, I don't know. I just got like I just felt the need to like address everybody. Like I'm okay.
Facts.
But I think that's a me
But
thing
you
too.
did a great job at calming everyone.
Yeah,
Even
I'm
me
like-
as the viewer, I'm just like,
I know, right?
woo!
Yeah,
Yeah, like yeah.
I know. I feel so bad for the people that watched
That's
it
so
live.
funny. Yeah, right.
And they're like, "What is happening to this
Facts.
girl?"
That's a fact.
But no, there was like no. I have no idea how that happened. There was no ice. Because that's why I was there. Like, I was there because
Clear
I had
day.
nothing to
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
It wasn't like I had nothing to talk about.
Right.
I was on weather coverage, but no snow was happening, no sleet, no ice. So I had nothing to talk about. So I was like, oh, let me go cover a water main break because at least that can be an element to my story.
Right.
I
Right.
can talk about how this happens in colder temps. Like it was an element because I
Makes
had
sense, yeah.
nothing.
Right.
So like I don't see her sliding. I don't know. I really don't know.
Man.
But yeah, she got out, apologized, and then went on her way. But yeah, she it obviously was an accident. So it was
Facts.
did not do anything. Like, I was okay. I'm literally fine. You know,
Yeah.
I'm fine. Nothing crazy came out of that. I
mean, like,
fine.
you know, thank God that you're okay. 'Cause, like, that could have just been a whole other type of story. You know what I mean? Like,
I
that
know.
was...
I always say, too, maybe it was meant to, like, I'm so clumsy. I fell so many times in my life, and I always get right back up. I'm like, I'm good, because, you know, in my head, I'm like, let me just tell myself I'm okay, and then I'll really be okay. Maybe that's why I do it, like a psychological reason.
Again, you are a better human being than me. I would have shut everything down. Yo, my neck. I'm suing.
Yeah, just stayed on the ground.
Just
get
the license plate number. Man, just don't go anywhere. We'll be right with you. Yeah.
I know.
No,
I had some people. Oh my God, Toby. Some people tell me that. They're like, why didn't you just stay down? I'm like, dude, that's so dishonest.
No, I mean, it's like, and we even share a trick because I also got hit by a car as well while I was in college.
I'm telling you, it's a common thing for Penn Staters. There's no shot. I'm the only one.
And it was a similar story. It was like, again, I was just walking, about to do my radio show at the hub. I was walking in, again, just like little girl, just not girl, but it's like a woman just came, just love tapped me. I said, oh my, and like, bro, I had my earphones in, bro, like, cause like my Spotify didn't even skip, so I didn't even know what was going. I was like, oh, and then I just like saw it was like a whole vehicle. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, wow, that's a car.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
It was, you know,
was she like rolling a stop or something?
I think she rolled a stop, or like it was
was
like the huge intersection right where man, I'm gonna date myself because I haven't been
college.
Yeah, it's just
Shoreledge.
Not Shoreledge. It was like the huge intersection, like right by Canyon.
Like right where Chipotle used to be or whatever.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's awful. Now I don't remember.
I know.
I don't remember.
Literally right by Chipotle. Like by that at the intersection. So like that was.
Oh my gosh, that was
crazy.
so crazy.
You know, like, I got love tap.
Dude, they are like it's
nuts.
In college towns, you should expect a lot of kids are walking, you know, and I don't know. Mine was like, I was walking home from the library late at night, and the guy just rolled to stop. So he just like pushed me, kind of like you. Like, just like gave me a good push. I was like in the middle of like, you know, his car, but like he pushed me. It wasn't nothing like this one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm like,
right.
But I tried to play it off. I really didn't think anything would come of that, man.
I feel that.
I really didn't.
So, I mean, when did you even realize that, like, the clip had went viral? Like, when?
Oh
like,
my
how
gosh,
was that whole
it's
experience?
so funny because I was in the hospital.
Oh,
because I was like getting checked out. My boss like was like, please go get checked out. I'm like, I'm fine, but okay. You know, so I'm just stubborn like that.
Yeah.
But I went, and I'm sitting there. It's like 2 hours after it happened.
Okay.
And my cousin sent me a text of a TikTok. And she's like, oh my God, is this you? I'm like, no shot. No way. No way did it go that viral that quick.
Hilarious.
Like 2 hours.
That's
and she's
nuts.
in Philly.
Wow.
And I was like, oh man. So I text my family. I'm like, it's like 1 a.m. I'm like, let me just shoot him a text.
Yeah.
So I text my family on our little fam squad text. And I'm like, hey, just so you guys know, like, I got hit by a car.
Yeah.
I swear to God, this was literally how I was like, I got hit by a car. It was on live TV. I'm literally fine. And, you know, like, it's no big deal. Then my brother calls me. He's cracking up. He's like, oh, my God, I just saw that clip. And I'm like, dude, screw you, you know? Like, come on. But no, that's how my family is.
Yeah,
it was,
right.
And then I woke up the next morning, and it was just... I have never had that many messages in my life.
Wow.
Oh my God, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Well, like, what were you even, like, did you even just initially, like, I got to reply to all these people? Like, I got to not reply to, like, what
I literally couldn't.
You can't,
and
right.
I felt like a terrible person for some of them. But, I went through, and I had emails on my personal work.
Wow.
I had Instagram direct messages.
Wow.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. I'm not even going to touch you.
Right.
And then
right.
they Facebook messaged you.
Incredible.
ESPN called my older brother.
Incredible. That's nuts.
Or like, we just want Tori's number. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, why? Like,
Yeah,
it's
right.
So not, like, you know, necessary.
What is it? Yo, the playoffs are happening. What do you want this story for?
I know,
What
right?
the fuck?
I guess it was a downtime for, I don't know, January. But either still, it was crazy. And then I'm like, like, Today Show, Fox News, like NBC, they
Facts.
all reached out, and I'm like, holy crap! Like,
I mean,
I look up to you people.
Well,
This
I
is
mean,
crazy.
we're even gonna talk
yeah.
to talk about the big one. So obviously, like the moment landed you obviously on Ellen. Ellen DeGeneres,
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
Like she, invited you up. Just again, just walk us through the experience. Like,
Yeah, it was really
was
cool.
she one of the initial people that reached out,
No,
or like,
no,
yeah,
she was a couple
happened?
days after, I believe, one of her producers. So the producers will reach out to you, and oh my gosh, she was so nice, that woman Jenny, and she set it all up for me. So they flew me out there. That happened, I think, on a Wednesday. It was like 2 days left of my job. So that happened on a Wednesday, and then they flew me out on Sunday to LA.
Okay.
And Sunday night, and they put me in a hotel, and they let me buy all the pizza I wanted. It was great. And then Monday we shot, and I went to the studio, and it was like so cool. I saw like Ellen in like Twitch's car there, and it was like, whoa,
That's
you know,
dope.
it was,
Yeah,
like,
that's
really
crazy.
cool. I
Yeah.
was like, this is so neat.
Yeah.
And I go in, and like they have like my little dressing room, and there was all these goodies. Like she gave me so much stuff, so much fun things. It was so nice.
Yeah.
And then they like were like, you're gonna go out and Ellen will just talk with you and it'll be so fun. And I did, and like I met her, and it was like so exciting. But it was taped on that day, and then
Right.
it aired a week later on my first day at WTAE.
Wow, okay.
But yeah, it worked out really well. She gave me that crazy jacket, which I still have, and I don't even know what I should do with. I feel like I should just frame it. It's like
Yeah.
a big old jacket she gave me, and she gave me a vacation.
Oh, wait, no, I
like the
did see.
7
Yeah, that was
yeah,
dope.
like Turks
Wait,
and
that was
Caicos.
crazy. Wait, did you go yet?
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't go yet. I
Okay,
have to
okay,
go.
okay.
I do have I have a timeline, obviously. I think I'll go in January.
That's fire, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll go in January, maybe when I like to celebrate my 1-year anniversary of getting hit.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah,
No,
right.
just
Yeah.
kidding, I don't know. But yeah, it was really cool. She was super nice, and yeah, I don't know. The whole experience was crazy, and I was so nervous.
Yeah.
So it was like there was like people in the audience. They were wearing masks, but there was a like regular audience. And
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, I don't know.
kinda
We
crazy.
talk to a TV camera.
Yeah, right.
It's a lot different when you're like in front of people.
I'm sure.
I'm telling ya, I'm like, I really don't think I'm a good public speaker like
No,
that.
like,
'cause
and
I'm
like, let me just say, like, bro, Tori, again, like, you just are where you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, I watched the interview, like, it didn't seem like any of that energy was radiating, like, at all.
Oh, thanks.
You
Toby.
seem mad comfortable, like,
Nah,
you know, like you're just.
I
I'm
was
just
so
like,
nervous.
I'm listening. I'm just like, yo, she's just chopping it up with. All right, this
Oh,
is kind
my
of
gosh,
wild.
it is
Like, I was
so-
like, this is so crazy.
I know.
It was just like such a natural conversation. I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is nuts. And like, Ellen's like seemed mad cool. Like,
Yeah.
again, just like from that experience, like. That was just kind of like a go, go, go.
Yeah.
Did you ever like take a moment to like kind of sit
No.
back and be like, I'm talking to Ellen? What?
I didn't in the interview, but afterwards I was like, whoa. I don't even know what to say.
man.
I
Like,
think like when I first sat down with her, because I think I said to her like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. You're beautiful." Like I've said something, I was just nervous
Right, right.
talking, and that's what I do. And,
Right.
yeah, and that's why I think in that whole clip when I got hit, I think that's why I said I got hit in a aired myself out about getting hit in college too.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like, oh my god, like I just spew things when I'm nervous or like in shock, I guess. And yeah, but it ended up, I guess, I don't know, maybe paying off. I thought, seriously, Tobe, after that happened, I was like, Pittsburgh is not going to want me. I
What?
just got
Really?
hit by a
You
car.
thought that?
Yeah.
What?
I cried my eyes out for
that wasn't even your fault, though.
like literally like 2 hours, dude.
Wow.
Literally, I'm just crying my eyes out.
it's not your
and
fault.
then, my boss at the time was like, "You're fine. It's all good. They're still gonna want you,
Mm-hmm.
you know." And so she made me feel better about it, but it was awful.
Look at
I
life,
like
man.
when looking back now, it's fine. You know,
Yeah.
it worked out. It was beneficial in that way, but man, it was really terrifying and like terrible right afterwards. I just cried. I
That's
did. I just
crazy.
cried. Not even because I was hurt, just because I was like so embarrassed and like, I don't know. As I didn't think if people would think like, why is she an idiot? Standing in a bad spot, but I really wasn't.
I mean, I feel like even if that happened to a news reporter standing in the freeway, like people would be shocked.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
It's like, why stand in the freeway? But it's like you're a news reporter, so like you have to report at crazy spots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was in no way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
appreciate
even if I'm
it.
like
Yeah.
an employer, I'm just like, well, I guess I'm not reporting in West Virginia.
Yeah,
like, near
yeah,
the
yeah.
roads. Like I'm not blaming that on the reporter.
Yeah, it worked out.
So
I definitely that was like a very, thank God, like
It's
only a few
just-
hours that I thought that bad thoughts.
This
But
and life was just funny because again, just for all the moments that you've probably ran through your head about, oh, like maybe this could be my big break, or like, oh, maybe this could, take me to this level. It's the thing that we just do not expect.
Yeah, right?
At every level, it's like
I know,
I just
I'm
got
like,
hit
oh,
by
man.
a car. Like that's
yeah.
that's nuts. But I mean, so even after Ellen, like great interview, and again, people love you. There's like, oh my God, like I wanted to report the news in my city. Like it was great. I mean, like people really love you, Tori, and like
Thanks,
rightfully
Toby.
so. You're a great person.
Oh my
like,
God, no,
I
you're
love
a
to
good
see
person.
good people, and like I love seeing that because like I just know like okay, like this person there's a good person.
Oh, you're sweet.
You know what I
Thank
mean? Like they
you.
deserve that platform, deserve that light. Like
Yeah.
just go.
Oh,
Go,
that's
go, go,
I
go.
don't know. For me, I was like, why drag something out? Like if it's not necessary, and everyone's like,
No,
you
fair.
could sue. Why? Why?
Yeah,
I
it's
want to
like-
make my own money.
No, right.
I don't want to be out.
That's
like,
not how you want to come up.
Come
Yeah,
on.
right.
Yeah, and I don't honestly. I really hope people like. I know they're gonna always look at me and know that I'm the girl that got hit by the car, but I do really hope that they like me for my
And
reporting
they will.
too at some point.
They will.
you
That
know?
like I feel like, and I'm just like talking to you. You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
like I just feel like people will initially be like, oh, that's the girl that what I mean, guy. But oh, she's actually a pretty knowledgeable reporter.
hopefully,
Like
yeah.
it'll bring them to the door. But
Thanks,
what will
Toby.
make them stay is gonna be you and what you do. You know what I mean?
appreciate
Like that's
that.
gonna.
You're
so that's
right.
already there.
I
but
appreciate that.
even after Ellen, like what was like the trajectory of like did a lot more doors open for you, would you say, or like what was kind of like the scope after you did that interview than before? Like
Yeah,
I'm sure like maybe you were getting calls that like you maybe weren't getting, or
Yeah, I did. I got a few more calls from some people I already did interviews with, and they're like, "Can you interview with us again? Because you just were on Ellen." I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay,
Yeah.
whatever." My boss was fine with it, so I went with it. And yeah, I don't know. I think it opened more doors, like as far as networking goes. I follow like. I had a lot of journalists kind of like follow me across the country. I had like 700 Twitter followers
Yeah.
when I started. I have thousands now
Dope.
from this incident.
Yeah.
And I didn't need all that. I'm grateful, but a lot of
For
them
sure.
are journalists, and it's really really flattering that they follow me, and I follow them right back, and I keep up with them, and I just like the networking. So maybe as far as like a door opening, maybe on that front, people kind of know me in the journalism world
Yeah,
now, and
right.
that's really flattering and cool. And I know my hometown and like the Philly market, a lot of them interviewed me, and that made me feel cool because I looked up to those people growing up, and so yeah. But Pittsburgh, I already had this job before that incident happened. I already accepted, signed,
Right.
like it was there.
So you were like already good to go.
But I did have a couple people ask my boss, oh, did she already sign with Pittsburgh? Because we take her. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy,
Yeah.
But yeah, I signed with Pittsburgh. I want to go to Pittsburgh.
Great.
I'm going to Pittsburgh.
And,
that was my mind. That
I'm
was
sure
my
I'm
mindset.
sure they're happy to have you. So
Yeah.
One last question, before we let you go do your job.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. We got time.
Yeah, no, so what advice, if any, that would you give to someone who was maybe, you senior year trying to figure out what you want to do, what you want to pursue,
Yeah.
or, even after graduation, that like, even if they want to pursue, being a news reporter, now that you had, kind of have a scoop, being in the industry for, some years now, what advice would you give? Like, just kind of a way for them to direct those interests and those passions and those.
Yeah, I definitely think they should utilize like the orgs, the organizations, and the clubs in college the way we did.
Yeah,
Me
right.
and you were involved with a lot of
Right.
journalism organizations. We did the Lion, the radio. We did the internships. That internship with Fox 29 literally made it for me. Like that literally made the difference.
Even speaking of internships, not to even cut you off, but like I also had a project where I had to film a documentary about a subject, and like
Wow.
I chose him.
That's awesome.
So like it just like always comes full circle as far as like
Yes,
continue. So
very
getting
cool.
involved.
I
Yeah.
swear, most of the people I talk with tell me that a lot of stuff they did came from internships.
Right.
So I would recommend internships, but I'd also just tell people it'll come to you. A lot of times I
Yeah.
think we're so pressured to find the right fit right away. And like a lot of times kids will graduate and they won't even end up going to do what they graduated for, you know, because I feel like they were just pushed into it or like pressured to pick when, you know, we still don't even know who we are yet at 20 years old.
Facts. Come on.
So I mean, I think my thing is to try everything, literally try. I thought I would want to be like a political person on TV.
Really? Okay.
Really
okay.
did. Went into political science, got a D. It was my only D in college, and I said to myself, "Now I know I don't belong
That may
here."
not be for
yeah,
me.
now I'm like, "All right, I now know that this is
Honestly,
not it."
honestly.
And so you know, I just tried different courses. I tried different things. You know, and I think it's just all about like, as uncomfortable as it may be, just go for it because you know you never know what'll come out of it, and life always is a great. You always get a good turning point when you do something you're scared of. Is what I think.
For
so
sure.
that would be my advice, Tobe.
Tori, I do want to say thank you for coming up.
Of course. Thanks for
really,
having me.
thank you so much. It's really just been a pleasure just to watch you grow. I'm super, super happy for you.
Ditto.
Super
Thank you.
happy for you.
Thank
man.
you.
And it's just been, you know, it's awesome. You
Thank
know, like
you.
I'm really excited, you know, to see where you're going, like you know, where you're
Thanks.
taking, and you know, like I said, Pittsburgh is lucky to have you as
you.
as a reporter, man. So.
I'm thankful.
Mastering Creation Podcast, episode 46, 45. Before we end, obviously, we have the MIC community shirts, which are on sale. We have not done a hard drop yet, but if you would like a shirt, contact me or contact the Mastering Creation Media page. $3 a shirt, and some of the proceeds go to supplying local kids school supplies for this upcoming school year. So definitely check that out. Tori Yorgey here, episode 46 of the MIC Podcast. We are out. Peace, y'all.